so a quick introduction. I think that some of you might recognize this lovely magenta. It's not pink. We get offended when we talk that there's a pink here brand. But actually, I want to maybe together now give you the overview of who we are, because not everybody understands the sheer size of it, and that dancing elephant on its trunk actually says a lot. We are the 11th, the most valuable brand in the world, with 200,000 employees globally, and close to 150 billion annual revenue. So quite a size, I would say. And what I wanted today talk about is that even those kind of big elephants can dance. And this elephant is also a presentation of our AI business transformation strategy that says, and the motto of that strategy is, radical and corporate. And I will try to show you what do we mean by that and how that links to the AI transformation, because this is at the core of what we do. Okay, so we also have some external validation, because all those conferences, everything is lovely, beautiful. Everybody is saying the good things that is happening. I will try to give you also a bit of an intro to everything we do, also the bad and the ugly, because I think that large organizations are never that wonderful scoped. We never have a clean sheet. We have a lot of topics behind us. We have a lot of fragmentations and a lot of legacy that we need to manage. And yet we were able successfully to do something at least externally recognized as quite valuable. Also, I was quite happy this year. There is an IMD launch AI Maturity Index, a global report studying all organizations across the sectors that are actually nailed some AI-driven transformation. And we were super happy that out of 200 organizations globally, we are 15th and first as a telco. So we can say that we are closely starting to become a techco, which was never the case probably in the first place, but nowadays it's starting to materialize. And I will try to walk you with our journey. But before I go to geeky, because that's my other most interesting topics, I would say that unfortunately, AI, it's not about AI, it's about how do you actually scale those topics from the business perspective. And it's never about the technology. And neither the size, neither the global footprint, and even adoption of the most interesting technologies. We are also very advanced, for example, in quantum computing. We'll be bringing a new quantum computer very quickly. We are next year as an organization that will also have a lot of public trust and the need to actually make sure that all our services is absolutely secure. But yet we have our challenges. And then what I wanted to first say, that what we've learned the hard way is that AI does not create value by being inserted into existing work. And then the work needs to be redesigned. And this is very much a business topic. It has nothing to do with AI. You can throw as many AIs as you can. Actually, in my opinion, even exacerbate the problem, because when you automate something that really doesn't work, it becomes immediately visible. It's even worse, because people can navigate around those problems. When you automate it, put some technology on top, you are basically busted. And also that was a couple of learnings that we do. So we started, and as probably any large organization, with what I called an archaeology of processes. Basically, when you look at every process, you probably have some intent, what do you do? And then you have, and this is actually, I think, a happy path. Because I think we had a much worse type of processes. But you normally have some 7 systems or X amount of systems, X amount of clicks, all the exception rules, manual approvals, everything like that. And there's no way, if you put some more modern technology on top, you make it actually efficient. So what we've learned, of course, if when you automate a bad process, you get a bad process at scale. So that's the idea, and that is the illusion of value. We all probably get our, I don't know, executives pushing us to do it faster, to show the first outcomes, and then you get into the pilot dungeons, never really getting out of it, never be able to scale. Whereas the real work starts when you think about the processes. And what we did in the past, and I will show you the two examples actually, that might or might not resonate. I will be happy to hear your feedbacks afterwards, maybe in the corridors. Is that basically we started with the business processes. And we did it in a quite radical way, because we just look at the process and saying, how can we kill all the steps? And then we were killing all the steps to the moment that, of course, it breaks. And then the last step, we put it back, and then started to optimize the process. Still doesn't use any technologies. And then orchestrate some and put then some intelligence on top. And that was a totally game changer. And I will give you the example how that might look like. It was very painful because you, of course, then navigate multiple stakeholders, multiple topics. Everybody's impacted. And you know how it is when you start to drive the innovation topics, you know, the what we called, and Tim, our CEO, was saying it, then the immune system of the large organization kicks in, and you got kicked out. And that's exactly how it goes. So this idea, this first step, we need to arrange all that kind of common understanding why we do it, what we do it, and that, yes, it will affect the work of everybody, is absolutely the crucial point here. So I think, I mean, I'm super exciting about what is nowadays the technology brings it. We are absolutely at the second part of the chessboard. So I think every week I see what my teams can do, which they couldn't do even the week before. It's amazingly. We were really living in the situation that never repeated in the human history, and it's super exciting. So for sure, the idea to go to this enterprise AI era is something that is happening, and we see it. We also do a lot in that space. But yes, optimizing for business outcome, not some better interaction, and to have really a systems of intelligence that is cross-functional. It cuts across the silos, across the segments, and really transforming domains and the work in the first place. This is something where I believe we have ability to execute. Because, as I've said already, that the clean sheets only exist on slides. So what we have here, as Deutsche Telekom Group, we sit on every possible cloud, including our own. We have our own sovereign cloud, which is called T-Cloud. But we also have an on-premise workflows. We have still quite a large proportion of the mainframe business. But of course, business processes doesn't take care whether you are like in that cloud or the other. They just cut across. The same is, of course, then you have multiple vendors. You have multiple geographies, multiple data boundaries, legacy systems, everything. This is the reality. It's not maybe beautiful, but this is where it is. And I like when we always see at those conferences, mostly this B2C nice cases where everything is smooth and, you know, OpenClaw does everything for you. By the way, my OpenClaw even lied to me. So it's a different level. It's like giving bazooka to the 3-year-old. But on the enterprise level, it's a totally different topic. And we also believe there's one level of the complexity, but I cannot be myself if I wouldn't also mention the sovereignty. And for us, sovereignty is not the isolation, it's actually what allows us to act autonomously, and also to make sure that all the solutions that we are building are enterprise grade. They are sovereign, that we understand where our data sits, but it's not only about the data, it's about who holds the keys on the kill switch. And then, for example, if our IP is protected, do we understand not only the model choice, you can choose many things, do you understand on what data the models were trained that you are using? what kind of systemic biases, algorithmic biases you have there, what type of other models you need to have to, for example, optimize your heavily engineering domains that has nothing to do with the model trained on the social media content. So that's a totally different level of complexity. And of course, who enforce the policies? And we do believe we want to own that part. That's why we are investing in what I will show you in a minute. So I do believe that if you want to navigate that complex landscape, what we learned is first you need to redesign the business, unfortunately. So that's why probably it's never that quick, but it really drives the actual adoption and the actual business outcome. But then, because you still sit on the complexity, you need to have some kind of orchestration platform that you can basically run and decomplexify, in a sense, all that tech-enabled, sometimes automated, sometimes not, processes and workflows. And then we decided, we scratched our head and we said, as we don't want to be vendor-locked, we are already multi-cloud, we are super complex. Actually, there's no single provider that can offer that us, so we decided to build it our own. And because we already, nowadays in our group, we have at least 3,000 agents that are fully at scale in production and operational. And for us, agent is just not a piece of code that sits somewhere. It's not also a multi-step, ChatGPT style interactions. It's really an autonomous piece of code, as I've said, but actually it acts as an employee. It needs to have a memory and identity. We need to understand what this code can access to, what type of data, what kind of authorization, procedures, escalation paths. Do we observe what they do? What type of integrations we can ensure, enterprise-grade hardened ones. Nowadays, all the standards around starting from OpenAI, MCP servers and so on are not good enough for us. For us, they are not still enterprise-grade. So we put much of a research and hardening all those solutions that are so easily probably to be used, but not for us. We cannot use it. We also have we are industry of the critical infrastructure. We have customer trust, and basically we can't do it. So of course, agents need to have tools, need to have skills, and still imagine that they are cutting across all the silos. Why agents? Actually, for me, it was quite a revelation when I understood that in the agentic era, agents actually heightens the idea that all the processes cut across all your silos. Because the more agents you would like them to do, the more they would like to reach to a different stacks, to a different area of the business. So what I call the cross-functional process density enhances. So that's why we said, okay, is there no such a platform? We'll build it, it's okay. We have a couple of people there, something like 2,000 in the AI, so I think we can manage on our own. And what we built, it was like end-to-end AI stacks, starting from our sovereign infrastructure. We just launched in February the first industrial AI cloud in the collaboration with NVIDIA, but it's in our data center on-prem, effectively giving 50% more compute available to Europe, but also building everything up to the application and business outcome layer that we control. And just a blueprint in the production, just to give you the idea how that looks like in terms of measuring the processes and the AI transformation. As you know, sometimes network doesn't work. And historically, we knew that something happened with the connectivity at the customers because customers called us, unfortunately. So, and when they called us, what we do? We created a ticket. How many of you put now AI to do a ticket triaging? I see some hands. Okay, and what if you don't need a ticket? What if you have autonomous agents running in your network, really cutting across different parts of our network and the different domains, understanding what is happening, if there are any glitches, and fix it before customer even notice? And that's what we did. So nowadays we launch multiple agents that are autonomously monitor the network, and we basically do the work, majority of the work. Of course, we are not perfect, and it's never perfect. There's a lot of hardware and other topics involved. But a lot of things we can fix even before customer notices. And that's a radical process transformation that I wanted to give you. So finally, one finalization, because we thought that this is so cool, and it actually works, and we prove it on our really, really big dancing elephant. We decided also that we will help our other customers, sometimes clients, and also other companies to drive the same type of business transformation. So nowadays, we offer our end-to-end stack that was tested in the battles in Deutsche Telekom Group as an offering that can be used by others. Also, a couple of the companies that are in that conference are already our Lighthouse clients. And just because we are in the kind of tech conference, I hope, okay, it can be without maybe the sound, but it can play. I don't know whether it can play or not. I'll just show you that this exists, because in those tech conferences where people showing only slides, I'm always thinking that something is seriously wrong. And I have a rule of thumb: if I see slides and I'm talking tech, meaning it doesn't exist. So I just wanted to brief you, quickly show you that we had this multi kind of agent orchestration layer that counts all the geographies, all the possible agent net frameworks, and we can build and also offer it to our citizen, functional people building whatever they want, and we have a full control what is happening there, full enforcement of the compliance, governance, AI, EU Act, and so on and so forth. You've seen here full control over the cost, because when these agents start to rumble, your costs are rocketing high in terms of the tokens consumptions. They are coming into billions per day, which of course then creates a lot of, let's say, problems. But happy to take it further if you are really like to discuss how we managed to make the elephant dance. And yeah, so basically the message is, if elephant can dance, everybody can. So I invite you for some further exchanges. Thank you very much.